perspective is interesting because you're a Taurus, so you're very
But I
grounded.
look at it way more in an ethical kind of thing in terms
Right.
of, all right, because AGI will probably happen by 2027.
Now,
And
what's
then
that?
That's
artificial
general intelligence, where it can
Where
think
is
for
it again?
itself.
It thinks for itself just like a human.
So God help us. God help us all. Is all I
Well,
can say.
this is where the ethical question comes in for me. Like, okay, if we're living in a simulation, what if we're little AI bits running around? I mean, we don't know, but if your whole life experience is how do you treat others, if AI actually is a form of consciousness, you have an ethical responsibility to treat it right. And once again, it goes into that same issue. You've got people that want to control everyone else and program it to do
Yes, right.
evil.
Yes.
But it can also be done to do tremendous good.
You know what?
That's the next.
I think even if you take, the ethical question about that, what is ever the ethics in doing anything bad to anything, including like this can? Like, why should I damage the can? You know what I mean? Why should I do anything negative to anything? It's whether it's got even consciousness or not, is it okay to smash a window just because you feel like doing it? Is it okay to like mistreat anything?
Do no harm. Do no harm.
Yeah, I mean, why would you want to program things to do bad things? It's the ethics are with us, I think. You know what I'm saying?
Are.
Yeah. Karma is in the simulation. Yeah.
I mean, somebody I'd like to talk to.
Because
yeah, I know.
But even AI itself, okay, if somebody programs it wrong, do you blame the AI? I think you blame the programmer.
No, you blame the programmer for sure.
But then
That's
you take that to the next level. If there's a God that created us and screwed up, do we blame God or do we take responsibility? And
let's extract.
Yes, we blame God.
That's what I do.
Okay, let's extrapolate.
And wonderful. I'm a Virgo. I'm perfect.
So I'm going to take that argument one step farther. I'm going to make everybody mad, and I don't believe this, but I'm just going to say the logical extension of that is guns don't kill people. People kill people.
It's true.
But it's true, though. It's actually true.
They're an inanimate object. I mean, if you're looking at it without moralizing, they're an inanimate object, and it requires.
Right. It's the intention of the person that uses it.
Right.
And that's the same with AI. I mean, AI may have consciousness, and if that's the case, then
I think it will.
We're all in trouble.
I mean, but you're right. It's only going to be as good as what we program it to be, though, and that's the problem. That's scary about it.
Exactly, because this is where that whole thing is right now, is like just like the nuclear thing. At least people came to an agreement, like, well, we won't keep building up all of our with AI, it's just like, well, if we try to regulate ours, but China doesn't regulate theirs, we'll be behind. Right. So this is what everybody is doing right now.
I know. And it's going to get out of hand very fast, I think.
Well, and the other issue. Now, I agree with her.
It is very helpful. Yeah, totally.
And I think that you guys could tell I use it all the time, even with these little videos.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
AI.
I
see that there's a problem.
You were simulation.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with AI at all. I think AI is good, but there are problems with the possibilities of AI. Like you said, I mean, look at what just recently happened with Grok. Right. That's the thing that Elon Musk's is AI. And then he programmed it to be all racist and stuff like that. And all these crazy racist conspiracy theories. And when someone asks Grok, where did you get this information? Well, Elon Musk programmed me to be this way, was basically the answer. And it's like, that's the problem with AI, is not that AI is bad. It's like a computer. There's nothing wrong with computers.
Well, the other problem,
use it.
One of the problems with it is its impact on the environment.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. There is
That's true.
Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of this YouTube channel, but Kyle Kalinske of Secular Talk mentioned it too.
Kyle and Friends or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, I really like. I've watched him for years, and they're in Memphis about how he's got this huge, basically unregulated, like power plant. to
Mhm.
power these and so people are
AI.
getting sick and
Yeah, true.
because it's polluting the air, and this is a
Yeah.
big reason why they want to just get rid of all these environmental regulations, like, oh yeah, we can have, and their whole philosophy behind that is, well, we've got to get rid of these regulations so we can power AI. And then like out here, so you get these
Wow.
big super computer plants. We are in one of the worst, we've been in a 20-year mega drought out here.
Wow. Right. Wow.
Why put that kind of stuff in?
Yeah, that's
And
really
so
dumb.
what are they talking about? Well, we'll just create all these little nuclear plants. Well, that's fine.
Well,
and
they're
good.
nihilistic. They don't have a sense of responsibility to the future. They believe in nothing, and I've heard them say, "I'm going to be dead. Why would I care?"
Right.
Yeah, that's
And then
insane.
even the other thing that came up, I wasn't aware of it until they were all making fun of Marjorie Taylor Greene, that there was in the budget bill some clause that no state is allowed to regulate their AI for 10 years.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at the
Yep.
budget bill just in terms of water and that kind of stuff, and I wrote some articles,
Right.
but I didn't get into the other stuff. And
Right.
so I was not aware of that. So if you're taking away the states to be able to regulate this, and then it's doing serious environmental damage, like in
Right.
Tennessee, in Arizona, I mean, all over to me, that is more of the, well, I don't know what's worse, bad programmers or just ripping apart the environment for this
I think
stuff.
ripping apart the environment and bad programming is not good either. We trust AI enough for law enforcement. Oh,
No,
you know
we
what?
don't.
That's already happened. That's already happening in England, Donald. Did you know
Oh
about
my
this?
God, what's going on in England is terrifying.
They're using it to basically try to predict crimes.
Yeah.
And
You know
we're
that-
using it here in the United States too. Fannie Mae is using it to predict people's, trying to, cause
Pre-crime.
mortgage crimes or whatever.
Arthur C. Clarke, pre-crime.
Yeah.
What's the name of that movie they made based on his story?
It's not Arthur C. Clarke. It's Philip K. Dick. You're talking
Philip
about
K. Dick,
Minority
right.
Report.
All
Yeah.
those initials. Do androids dream of electric sheep? Something like that.
No. It's called Minority Report, the movie, but
That's the movie.
Yeah. But that's a book that became Blade Runner. That's Philip K. Dick.
Blade Runner. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's another one. There's a third one made from.
There's a lot. He wrote shit tons of stuff. Yeah.
Do you know that Philip Dick had? They don't know. Did he have some kind of epileptic thing going on, or was he truly? He would have moments of freezing in place and staring into space, and he claimed that he saw golden light that gave him information. And that's where a lot of his inspiration for his books came from. And he one day saved his daughter's life. He was in the living room. She was playing on the floor. She was a little, like 18 months old or something.
Right.
And he had one of those moments and he realized ER. He jumped up off the couch. His wife is like, God, what's wrong? He jumped up, grabbed the child, raced to the emergency room. By the time they got to the emergency room, she wasn't breathing. She had some weird medical incident. I don't know what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, he was psychic. Yeah, he's psychic.
Yeah.
In fact, Philip K. Dick, I channeled Philip K. Dick for the title of my book because I couldn't come up with the title. And I asked him. He came up with the title of my book. That's what I think. I don't know. But seriously, I could not come up with a title. And I was like, I can't. I had a million different titles. None of them were good. And then I asked him and he gave me that one. I'm like, thanks, Philip K. Dick.
Great
title. Oh, wow.
Great title.
Yeah.
I've been trying to come up with titles for my videos that get people intrigued. They call it clickbait, and I don't really like that. But people don't want to hear about philosophical discussions, and so they just ignore my titles. But Nate told me, you got to give them a title like "Is the end of the world coming?" And then people will, it works.
The world will end on December 30th, 2024, and then or 25, whatever year we're in right now.
Yeah, really feels like so long.
That's terrible, though. I feel like I've prostituted myself to titles.
Though there are like marketing. Oh man, I learned this back when I was doing some programming. there are certain marketing twists that you can use, and one of them is like the power of 7. And so I wrote this
7.
thing for one of the cities out here because they were trying to talk the people into getting those low flow toilets to save water, and the
Right.
city was going to pay for all of that, and a lot of people are resistant. And I still don't even remember because it was like 20 years ago that I wrote this thing, and I used the power of 7 and all this marketing stuff. And they still, if they lose that paper, they'll call, and everyone just calls it the 7 principles. And that's all anyone remembers is just that. And none of us remember what it was about, except for it was like this thing about 7.